What if you could seize control of your life, not by chasing endless plans or waiting for the perfect vibe, but by kicking off every morning with unstoppable power? Are you ready to own your sunrise right now, or will you let another day slip into chaos and regret? Hey there, friends. It's an honor to stand with you today. If you're tuning in, I know there's a fire burning inside you, a hunger to lead a bold mission, make a dent in your community, or live a life that makes your Creator proud. But let me ask, how often have you felt that fire flicker drowned out by the noise of daily life? How many of you find yourselves drifting caught up in TikTok, Instagram, or the grind of societal pressure, just reacting to what's thrown at you instead of shaping your future? I'm here to drop a hard truth. Your purpose isn't some fleeting thought, it's a divine command waiting for your obedience, but only you can spark the flame to answer it. Success doesn't come from luck, talent, or waiting for clarity. It's forged in the furnace of intentional mornings where you stake everything every hour, every minute, every moment of your day. Most folks never reach their purpose. They let time slip away, swept up in distractions, small excuses, or quiet doubts, thinking one day a sign will flash, or someone will hand them a clear path. But here's the deal. Nobody answers your calling but you. In 2025, with social media noise and societal pressure louder than ever, owning your morning is your greatest edge. Napoleon Hill nailed it. Greatness isn't stumbled upon, it's earned through disciplined morning habits, through unwavering obedience to your aim. You don't need to be perfect or have all the answers just 10 minutes a day to obey your mission. I've seen it, the successful aren't any different from you or me. They don't have fewer fears or smoother mornings. They just choose to act with power. They don't wait for motivation, applause, or a clear road. They move, and the universe moves with them. Your purpose isn't a side hustle. It's a sacred mission only you can fulfill, but it won't come to you. It demands you stand up, face your doubts, push through setbacks, and reject the easy path. Today I'm sharing a powerful philosophy. 5 morning steps to master your destiny and build a legacy that echoes into eternity. This isn't hype or a quick fix. It's about forging a life of purpose through daily obedience, becoming the architect of your divine aim. These steps will challenge you, demand your grit, and transform you if you dare to obey their call. You don't need to do it all right now, just start moving. Ready? Stick with me, because what you're about to learn will change how you live, how you fight starting today. What's stealing your mornings? Distractions, chaos, or just hitting snooze one too many times? What spark will you ignite right now to forge your path? Let's dive into the first step, affirm your purpose. Ever felt lost, like coins buried in darkness because you wake up reacting to the world instead of locking in your purpose? Picture those mornings you're pumped about your dreams, maybe launching a startup, serving your community, or living a life that screams meaning, one that makes your Creator nod in pride. You feel that spark deep inside like a flame urging you to rise, but then TikTok, Instagram, or the daily grind snuffs it out. You hit snooze telling yourself, I'll get to it later, or I need a sign to start. You wait hoping for a burst of energy or someone to say, now's the time. But days turn to weeks, and you're still adrift, aimless, asking, why haven't I started? Why do I keep letting chaos steal my mornings? Why do I give myself a pass before I've even begun? That's the pain of letting reactive mornings bury your divine potential, of surrendering your power before you've even stood up. I've seen folks like us full of epic callings, but they let moments of hesitation pile up, days of just one more snooze stretch on, and their mission gets lost in the darkness of delay. They wake with a blazing fire, but soon they're back to scrolling, procrastinating, or convincing themselves it's not the right time. They wait for a perfect moment, a heavenly signal, or a risk-free path, but the brutal truth is that moment never comes, and then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved affirming their purpose, answering their divine call at sunrise. No signs or motivation needed. You feel that too, right? Being lost isn't the end. It's your wake-up call from above. Affirming your purpose is your light. It cuts through the darkness of chaos with unshakable intention. It's not about seeing the whole road, crushing every doubt, or having every answer now. It's realizing your inner call isn't a suggestion, it's a command from heaven, and your affirmation is the flame that lights it. Every legend, every game changer didn't wait for dawn to break fully or doubts to vanish. They rose before sunrise, tired or not, because their mission demanded it. In 2025, with social media noise and daily pressures louder than ever, affirming your purpose is your strength. Most folks let chaos lead. They stumble out of bed with no plan, letting the day happen to them, but the universe doesn't reward drifters. Your light blazes when you say, "I don't need a sign, I'm locked in, and I'm moving now." That's when prosperity, not just cash, but clarity, grit, eternal impact starts sparking. Why does this matter? Because purpose is the pulse of your morning. Every lasting legacy was built by folks who didn't wait for permission. They didn't need the world to say you're enough. They vowed to show up day after day until heaven backed them. If you wake chasing distractions or snoozing through your spark, you'll live a scattered life, starting strong but never finishing. But when you affirm your purpose, you align with your divine call. You don't wait for the right vibe. You create it with a 10-minute vow, a moment of focus, a declaration that you're here to lead, not follow. Imagine starting each day asking, "How will I obey today? What move will prove my purpose?" You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your mission. You think about times you drifted snoozing, waiting for signs, letting chaos lead, and you say, "No more, I'm lighting my flame." That's when your light burns bright, slicing through the darkness of delay. I've seen it. The successful don't have more time, they just know every small act is a beam on their divine path. Affirming your purpose isn't a burden, it's freedom. A vow to yourself you'll never betray your calling. So how do you start? It's not rocket science, but it takes guts. Today, take 10 minutes to affirm your purpose. Say aloud or write, "I rise to lead my mission." Feel the power of that vow and jot it down in a journal. No social media, no emails, just you and your grit. Tomorrow, repeat it, noting how it sharpens your focus like a flame flaring up. This week, affirm daily for 7 days, tracking your clarity. Each day, take one small step, maybe 10 minutes toward your mission, or say no to a distraction and log your drive. Don't stop there. Make it your core. Say this affirmation every morning like a sacred ritual and review monthly to lock in your fire. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by waiting for signs. They affirmed their purpose day after day until heaven moved with them. You can too. You don't need to see the whole path, just step. You don't need to crush every doubt, just obey today. Then tomorrow, obey again. That's how you light your flame. That's how you affirm your purpose. That's how you start your day with power. So ask yourself, what darkness is hiding your coins? Morning chaos. No plan or just hitting snooze. How will you shine your light today? What's one vow you'll make now to rise with power? Your mission's waiting. Will you drift or lead? Now, step 2, master your emotions. Ever felt adrift like coins fading in fog because your emotions hijack your mornings and break your focus? Picture those days you're ready to dominate, maybe growing a business, serving others, or crafting a life that matters. You wake with a spark, your mission clear as day, but then TikTok, Instagram, or life's grind stirs up feelings, doubt, fatigue, or just not today. You sigh, telling yourself, "I'll start when I feel better," or "I need the right mood." But one sigh turns to a groan, one skip to a habit, and soon you're off course, hollow, asking, "Why do I let my mood steal my mornings? Why can't I keep my fire lit? Why do I drift when I'm meant to lead?" That's the pain of letting emotions cloud your divine potential, of losing your morning power to fleeting feelings. I've seen folks like us full of grand callings, but they let emotions take the wheel. A tired day, they stop. A moment of doubt, they hesitate. A bit of boredom, they quit. They think, just today, I'll pick it up tomorrow, but one day becomes a habit, and habits become fate. They wake with iron will, but soon their mood's in charge, scrolling, delaying, or convincing themselves a break's no big deal. But it's a big deal. Every time you let emotions win, you don't just lose a morning, you break your rhythm. Mastering your emotions is your anchor. It roots your morning with crystal clear focus. It's not about denying feelings or acting like a robot. It's about ruling your mood so your purpose, not your emotions, calls the shots. Every titan, every eternal builder didn't let their heart dictate their moves. They acted weary, angry, or flat because their aim wasn't up for debate, it was theirs to obey. In 2025, with social media noise and daily pressures trying to throw you off mastering your emotions, is your lifeline. Most folks let their mood decide they groan when they're off waiting for inspiration, but the universe doesn't care if you feel ready. Your anchor holds when you say, "My feelings don't own me, I'm here for my purpose." That's when prosperity, not just calm, but strength, clarity, divine alignment takes hold. Why an anchor? Because emotions come and go, but your mission is forever. Every history maker tamed their heart knowing feelings pass, but morning rhythm lasts. If you only rise when you're hyped, you're building on quicksand, your focus will crumble when the vibe fades. But when you master your emotions, you build on bedrock. You don't wait for a good morning, you make every morning powerful with relentless focus. Imagine starting each day asking, how will I master my emotions today? What feeling will I push through to obey my call? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your aim. You think about times you drifted, letting fatigue, doubt, or boredom lead, and you say no more. I'm dropping my anchor. That's when your anchor locks in, holding you steady through the fog of feelings. I've seen it, the successful don't have fewer emotions. They just know emotions are waves and they steer their ship with discipline. Mastering your emotions isn't pressure, it's power. A vow to yourself, you'll never let your mood steal your divine mission. So how do you start with a bold choice and real action? Today, take 10 minutes to declare your mastery. Say aloud, I master my emotions. I obey my purpose. Feel the strength in those words and note your focus in a journal. No social media, no emails, just you and your will. Tomorrow, act despite one emotion, maybe tiredness or doubt, and log your progress like you're conquering a storm. This week, master your emotions daily for 7 days, tracking your grit. Each day, spot a feeling trying to stop you, not today, or I'm scared, and act anyway, even for 10 minutes toward your mission. Log how you feel tougher, more focused. Don't stop there. Make it your core. Declare this affirmation daily like a sacred ritual. I act despite my feelings. Review your journal monthly, noting how you've tamed your mood, how the fog clears to reveal your path. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by chasing emotions. They mastered them, acting no matter the mood, and the world bowed. You can too. You don't need to crush every feeling now, just master one today, then tomorrow another. That's how you drop your anchor. That's how you master your emotions. That's how you start your day with power. So ask yourself, what fog's blurring your coins? Mood swings, fatigue, or emotional drift? How will you set your anchor today? What's one emotion you'll conquer now to lead your day? Your mission's waiting. Will you drift or lead? Hold up, master your emotions today. Set your anchor. Join ForgeFire. Smash that subscribe button for more tools to spark your powerful mornings. Turn on notifications. Next step 3, build a morning ritual. Ever felt scattered like coins lost in haze because you wake up without a morning ritual to ground your power? Picture those mornings you're set to live big, maybe scaling a startup, uplifting your community, or carving out a life of eternal impact. You're ready, but then TikTok, Instagram, or life's endless demands pull you in every direction. With no ritual, you're a ship without a sail, starting strong, but spinning out, jumping from task to task, or worse, frozen in place. You tell yourself, I'll figure it out later, or I just need a break. But chaos takes over, your drive scatters, and you're asking, why's my morning such a mess? Why can't I stay focused? Why do I let disorder steal my spark? That's the pain of letting a planless morning dim your divine potential of wandering when you were born to build. I've seen folks like us with epic callings, but they let their mornings become a free-for-all, no schedule, no habits, no ritual. They wake with fierce drive, but soon they're lost in social media, sidetracked by trivial stuff, or just forgetting their goal. They think, I'll do it when I have time, or I don't need a plan, I'll just wing it. But without a ritual, they do nothing. They let disorganized mornings pile up, turning chaos into habit and habit into fate. Every time you lack a clear plan, you don't just lose a morning, you lose a chance to forge your legacy. And then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved building a morning ritual, making each day a steady step toward their purpose, never lost in the haze again. You feel that too. Right chaos isn't failure, it's heaven's call to craft your rhythm. Building a morning ritual is your torch. It lights your divine path with disciplined rhythm. It's not about chaining yourself to a rigid schedule or stifling freedom. It's about designing your morning so your purpose, not chaos, runs the show. Every icon, every eternal builder leaned on morning rituals knowing their mission needed a daily altar to thrive. In 2025, with distractions and societal pressure everywhere, a rock-solid ritual is your fortress. Most folks let disorder lead. They stumble through mornings with no plan, hoping for magic, but the universe doesn't reward randomness. Your torch blazes when you say, "I won't let chaos rob my mornings, I'll carve my rhythm." That's when prosperity, focus, strength, and divine order takes root. Why a torch? Because a ritual channels your fire. Every history maker ran their mornings like a kingdom. Knowing disorder destroys dreams, but rhythm builds empires. Without a ritual, you're swinging in the dark, your energy's wasted on reacting. But with a ritual, you're dialed in, ready to dominate no matter what comes. Just 10 minutes crafting your morning can turn "I'm all over the place" into "I'm locked on my mission." Imagine starting each day asking, how will my ritual guide me to my aim today? What rhythm will keep me on track? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your plan. You think about chaotic mornings. No plan, distracted by social media doing random stuff, and you say, "No more. I'm lighting my torch." That's when your torch flares up, shining through the haze of chaos. I've seen it. The successful don't have more hours, they just know a designed morning is a step toward their mission. Building a ritual isn't a cage. It's power, a vow to yourself. You'll never let chaos steal your divine purpose. So how do you start with a clear choice and real action? Today, take 10 minutes to plan one ritual action, like 5 minutes of silence or writing your aim. Sit down, grab a pen, and write, "What will I do today to keep my morning rhythm?" Note it in a journal, feeling the focus as you lay the foundation. No social media, no emails, just you and your ritual. Tomorrow, stick to it, logging how it steadies you like a torch growing brighter. This week, build your ritual daily for 7 days, tracking your rhythm's strength. Each day, follow one planned action, waking on time, writing your aim, or working on your mission. And note how you feel, organized, driven. Don't stop there. Check your habits weekly. Spend a few minutes reviewing how you stuck to your plan, tweaking what's off, reinforcing your rhythm. Monthly, revisit your journal, seeing how your ritual becomes a fortress, shielding your purpose from chaos. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by winging it. They designed their mornings, held their rhythm, and the world bowed. You can too. You don't need a perfect schedule now. Just start with one action, one habit today. Then tomorrow, build more. That's how you light your torch. That's how you build a morning ritual. That's how you start your day with power. So ask yourself, what haze scatters your coins? Morning disorder. No routine or distractions. How will you light your torch today? What's one ritual you'll start now to lead your morning? Your mission's waiting. Will you flounder or lead? Step 4, focus on one key action. Ever felt stalled, like coins swept away by a storm, because you're not zeroing in on one key morning action to fuel your power? Picture those mornings you're locked in on your purpose, maybe growing a venture, serving others, or crafting a legacy that lasts. You're rolling your rhythm tight, but then TikTok, Instagram, or life's curveballs break your flow. You try tackling everything thinking, "I'll do it all," but end up scattered. You tell yourself it's just one day, but one skip feels small, yet it breaks your momentum, and soon your drive's gone, leaving you stuck, asking, why can't I keep moving forward? Why do I let scattered mornings kill my spark? Why do I spin when I'm meant to strike true? That's the pain of letting a lack of focus dim your divine potential, of losing your morning power to a storm of distractions. I've seen folks like us with epic callings, but they let small disruptions, a busy day, a minor distraction, or thinking multitasking's fine, destroy their momentum. They wake with explosive speed, but soon they stop, waiting for motivation to return or thinking they can restart from scratch. But every time you stop, you don't just lose a morning, you lose the built-up power that could have carried you through any obstacle. They let skips become habit, and habit becomes fate. Every time you don't focus on one key action, you don't just slow down, you push yourself further from the legacy you were sent to forge. And then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved focusing on one key action, letting each morning build a solid step toward their purpose. You feel that too, right? Being stalled isn't failure. It's heaven's call to lock in your rhythm. Focusing on one key action is your brick. It builds your divine path with laser precision. It's not about chasing big wins or multitasking like a machine. It's about nailing one action each morning that moves your mission forward, stacking strength like bricks in a fortress. Every pioneer, every eternal builder knew one focused move done daily grows into unstoppable force like a single seed sprouting into a mighty tree. In 2025, with distractions and pressure trying to scatter your focus, zeroing in is your weapon. Most folks flail, they juggle 10 tasks, expecting breakthroughs, but end up nowhere thinking they'll catch up later. But the universe rewards those who strike true. Your brick is laid when you say, I won't scatter my mornings, I'll hit one target. That's when prosperity, impact, clarity, divine legacy rises. Why bricks? Because focus compounds your strength. Every history maker picked one move, knowing each action built the next. Without focus, you're swinging at shadows, your efforts wasted on noise. But with one key action, you're building a fortress unshakable no matter the storm. Imagine starting each day asking, what brick will I lay today? What action will move me closer to my purpose? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your target. You think about stalled mornings, trying too much, letting distractions interrupt or stopping because results weren't instant, and you say no more. I'm laying my brick. That's when your brick stacks up, building your path through the storm of disruption. I've seen it, the successful don't have more chances, they just know every focused action is a brick and they never stop stacking. Focusing on one key action isn't pressure, it's power. A vow to yourself, you'll never let distractions steal your divine mission. So how do you start? With a simple commitment and real action. Today, take 10 minutes to pick one key action, like writing a daily goal or tackling a core task toward your mission. Sit down, grab a pen, and write, today I'll do this to move my purpose forward. Note it in a journal, feeling the strength as you lay your first brick. No social media, no emails, just you and your focus. Tomorrow, do that action, logging how it drives you forward like bricks piling up. This week, focus on one key action daily for 7 days, tracking your momentum's rise. Each day, pick one small move, 10 minutes on your goal, reminding yourself of your mission. And note how you feel stronger, more driven. Don't stop there. Track progress monthly. Spend a few minutes reviewing how your focused actions stack, tweaking if needed, reinforcing your rhythm. Log how each brick makes your fortress taller, tougher. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win with random acts. They zeroed in on one key action day after day, and the world bowed to their accumulated power. You can too. You don't need big wins now, just focus on one small action today, then tomorrow focus again. That's how you lay your brick. That's how you focus on one key action. That's how you start your day with power. So ask yourself, what storm's sweeping your coins? Scattered focus, too many tasks, or lost drive? How will you lay your brick today? What's one action you'll strike with now? Your mission's waiting. Will you stall or lead? Hold up, focus on one key action today. Lay your brick. Join ForgeFire, hit subscribe for more hacks to spark your powerful mornings. Turn on notifications. Finally, step 5, rise above setbacks. Ever felt crushed like coins scorched in fire because morning setbacks make you want to quit your power? Picture those mornings you're all in on your purpose, maybe leading a bold project, serving others, or crafting a life of eternal impact. You wake with a will of steel, each step a brick toward your legacy. But then a setback hits, a deal falls through, a doubt creeps in, or a day everything crashes. TikTok, Instagram, or societal pressure piles on, whispering, you're done, or this isn't for you. You feel burned, like your sparks turn to ash, saying, why even try, or I can't keep going. Suddenly, your divine mission feels impossible, like it's gone up in flames, and you're asking, why do setbacks hit so hard? Why do I let them break my morning rhythm? Why do I falter when I'm born to rise? That's the pain of letting setbacks torch your divine potential of retreating in the fight you were sent for. I've seen folks like us with epic callings, but when setbacks strike, they let it define them. A plan flops and they think I'm not good enough. A rejection lands and they believe this mission's wrong. They let bad days, mistakes, or criticism drown them, retreating to safety, scrolling, delaying, or convincing themselves, maybe I should settle for less. But settling doesn't forge a legacy. Settling doesn't craft greatness. Every time you let a setback make you quit, you don't just lose a morning, you lose the strength to become who you're meant to be. And then they couldn't take it anymore. They craved rising above setbacks, turning stumbles into fuel, standing stronger to pursue their mission. You feel that too, right? Being crushed isn't the end, it's heaven's call to rise and obey. Rising above setbacks is your forge. It shapes your divine path with unbreakable grit. Setbacks aren't your end. They're raw steel the Creator uses to hammer you tougher. Failure's part of your sacred road, but it doesn't own you unless you let it. Every legend faced flops but kept obeying, rising fiercer each time. In 2025, with doubts and distractions, everywhere relentless grit is your shield. Most folks let setbacks break them, taking hits personally, quitting thinking a flop means their aim's wrong, but rising above setbacks turns pain into strength, mistakes into lessons, failures, fire into fuel. Your forge roars when you say, I fell, but I'll rise and obey harder. That's when prosperity, resilience, faith, eternal legacy takes hold. Why a forge? Because setbacks sharpen you. Every history maker got knocked down but stood up knowing flops weren't defeat. They were the forge crafting their mission. If you let setbacks stop you, you're surrendering your spark, your legacy stays ash. But when you rise, you're forged into steel, unstoppable, no matter the heat. Imagine starting each day asking, how will I rise above setbacks today? What stumble will forge me? You sit down, no phone, no noise, just you and your mission. You think about moments you broke quitting after a flop, letting pain hold you back, and you say, no more, I'm stepping into my forge. That's when your forge fires up, shaping you through failure's heat. I've seen it, the successful don't fall less. They just know every setback is a hammer strike, forging their mission. Rising above setbacks isn't pain, it's power. A vow to yourself you'll never let mistakes steal your divine call. So how do you start? With a new mindset and real moves. Today, take 10 minutes to reflect on a recent setback, maybe a missed goal, a rejection, or a day it all fell apart. Sit down, grab a pen, and write, what did I learn? What's this teaching about my mission? Note the lesson in a journal, feeling the strength of turning pain into wisdom. No social media, no emails, just you and your reflection. Tomorrow, apply that lesson to a new move, retry a failed task, or tweak your approach and log your progress like you're getting tougher. This week, persist through setbacks daily for 7 days, tracking your grit. Each day, pick a moment you feel defeated, a small mistake, a rejection, and write its lesson. Note how you use it to move forward. Don't stop there. Keep a failure log, a place for every flop, big or small, and its lessons. Monthly review it, analyzing how you've grown, how failure's stain fades. Think of folks you admire. They didn't win by dodging setbacks. They fell, rose, learned, and obeyed harder. You can too. You don't need to avoid mistakes, just learn. You don't need to win every time, just rise today. Then tomorrow, rise again. That's how you step into your forge. That's how you rise above setbacks. That's how you start your day with power. So ask yourself, what fire's scorching your coins? A setback, rejection, or pain from a mistake? How will you fuel your forge today? What's one lesson you'll pull from a flop now to keep rising? Your mission's waiting. Will you crumble or lead? Friends, we've just walked a sacred path, 5 steps to start your day with power, to unlock your infinite potential and craft a life that echoes into eternity. Affirming your purpose lights your guiding flame. Mastering your emotions drops your anchor of focus. Building a morning ritual burns your torch of discipline. Focusing on one key action lays your bricks of precision. And rising above setbacks forges your unbreakable grit. Each step's a spark, each action a hammer strike, each moment you refuse to drift a brick in your eternal legacy. Take a second to feel that power every time you affirm your purpose, master your mood, or rise from a fall. You're not just inching toward your divine mission, you're forging a life worth living, a story heaven will honor. Success isn't a single shining moment or a miracle from above. It's the sum of mornings you obeyed, hours you gave, your all minutes you chose the hard path to heed your Creator's call. Most folks never touch their divine mission. They let time slip lost in TikTok, Instagram, or societal pressure, living without rhythm, without fire. They wait for a heavenly sign, worldly approval, but no one comes. They wait for the perfect moment, but it never arrives. But you're different. You know, these 5 steps aren't just words. They're a blueprint for a sacred life, a compass through 2025's noise, a torch lighting your way to boundless prosperity. The successful don't have more hours or fewer hurdles. They choose differently. They obey every morning, every hour, every moment. They forge their legacy one strike at a time. You can too if you step up. I'm throwing down a challenge pick. One step, affirm your purpose. Master your emotions. Build a ritual focus on one action or rise above a setback. Lock it in daily, not just when it's smooth, but when it's rough, when it burns, when the world says quit. Start now. Take 10 minutes today to declare a bold affirmation, plan your morning, or learn from a setback. Track your wins not to brag, but to remind yourself you're obeying. Find a friend, mentor, or community to keep you sharp, to remind you why you started. Build a world where failure's not the end but fuel, where doubt's not a barrier but a brick to step over. How's that feel? As you shove noise aside, push through doubt and forge your mission. You'll stand taller, prouder, stronger than ever. In 2025, when everything's trying to derail you, you've got a shot to shape your legacy, to live a life not just successful, but deeply sacred. 1 hour a day isn't just time, it's your furnace where you forge lasting value. You don't chase success when you obey relentlessly, heaven brings it to you. But it starts now, not tomorrow, not next week. Right now you decide, will you obey or let your mission fade? Need more sparks? Join ForgeFire. Subscribe for daily fuel to keep your mornings blazing. Drop your mission in the comments, hit that button, and turn on notifications to never miss a chance to rise. Picture 1 year from now, standing unshakable, your life a masterpiece forged by every morning you owned, by every doubt you crushed, every setback you rose from. Not by luck, not by chance, but by your relentless obedience. You're clearer, tougher, more confident, not just for what you've achieved, but for who you've become. You're not just living, you're leading, inspiring those around you, leaving a legacy heaven itself will honor. You're the craftsman of your mission, shaping it from obedience's fire, from persistence's furnace. But this legacy doesn't just happen. It demands you obey not just today, but every morning, every hour, every breath you take. You don't need to be perfect, just show up. You don't need all the answers, just step up. And when you do, you'll see nothing, no doubt, no failure, no obstacle can stop you. Your mission isn't just for you, it's for the person you're becoming, the legacy you'll leave, the story you'll tell heaven. So ask yourself now, what'll you obey for today? Which step will you pick to start? Affirm your purpose, rise from a flop. What move will you make right now to forge your legacy? Feel that fire inside you. Your mission's not waiting, it demands you obey today now. Will you back down or lead? Act now, your eternal legacy's waiting to be forged.